The twin suns of Talmaron shone softly over the white metal surface of the Humyn medical outpost. The outpost floated in steady orbit, glowing like a small, peaceful lantern in the endless stretch of space. Ships from many worlds came there, small ships, big ships, ships made of crystal or metal or woven energy. But none of the staff expected a visitor as large and as ancient as the one who arrived that quiet morning. A gentle vibration passed through the outpost docking ring, and every light flickered once. The staff paused their work, looked up from their screens, and stared at the long window. Outside, a giant form moved with slow grace. A creature shaped like a dragon, with long wings that glimmered like silver glass, approached the landing pad. His scales were dark and glossy, like polished stone from old planets. Soft light ran along the edges of his body as he drifted closer. His name was Ryseth, one of the oldest star dragons known in the Galactic Peace Corps. He had served as a guardian of star storms, a guide to lost travelers, and a mentor to younger dragons who wanted to explore the galaxy. Although many stories told of him, few people had actually met him in person. Dragons rarely visited human stations, and when they did, it was usually for formal meetings or peaceful research visits, not medical care. But today, Ryseth came alone. Inside the outpost, a young human nurse named Ilara Marin stood near the main entrance chamber, staring at the docking alerts with calm curiosity. She had heard of star dragons but never treated one. When she saw the readings on her display panel, wing length, body mass, energy pulse signature, she blinked in surprise. Even quiet breathing from such a huge creature seemed like it would shake the walls. Her supervisor stepped beside her and whispered. He requested a checkup. Something about a spot on one of his scales. Ilara raised an eyebrow. A spot? Dragons come all the way to our outpost because of a spot? Her tone was not disrespectful, more amazed than doubtful. Her supervisor gave a small smile. When beings live for thousands of years, anything unusual can feel important. Ilara nodded. That made sense. The docking doors opened slowly, and a soft wave of warm air entered the chamber. Ryseth lowered his head to fit through the entrance. Even crouching, he was huge. His eyes were gentle but bright, like small suns hidden behind dark glass. As he stepped in, the floor sensors adjusted to his weight with a quiet hum. The staff bowed politely. Ryseth bowed back, his large wings folding neatly against his body. His deep voice echoed softly through the chamber. Greetings, peaceful healers. I seek your help. Ilara stepped forward, her tablet held close to her chest. Welcome, honored Ryseth. My name is Ilara. I will be your attending nurse today. The dragon studied her for a moment. His expression was kind. A young one, he said. Yet your voice carries confidence. Ilara managed a small smile. Thank you. What brings you here today? Ryseth shifted slightly. The motion was slow and gentle, like a mountain adjusting itself. I found a small shining spot on my left side. It glows. I believe it is simply an age mark, but I was advised to have it checked by humans. Your instruments are precise. Humans were known throughout the galaxy for their creative tools, their surprising problem-solving, and their ability to remain calm even when facing unusual mysteries. Dragons respected that. Ilara motioned toward the scan chamber. We can examine it for you. Please step to the center platform. It will adjust to your size. The dragon moved onto the platform, which expanded smoothly under him. Its bright metal plates shifted like petals of a flower to make enough space. Around them, the room filled with soft humming sounds as medical screens activated. Ilara circled around Ryseth, checking the various displays. Then she finally saw the spot he mentioned. It was small, no bigger than a human hand, but it glowed like a tiny star. A soft blue-white shine pulsed slowly, fading in and out, almost like a heartbeat. The scale around it looked perfectly healthy. There were no cracks, burns, dents, or anything that suggested harm. It simply glowed. Quietly and smoothly. Ilara frowned softly. How long has this been here? 3 cycles of your moon, Ryseth answered. It did not concern me. But a younger dragon noticed it. and urged me to visit specialists. Ilara raised her scanner. It was wise advice. May I scan the area? You may, he replied. The scanner emitted silent waves of harmless light that passed through the scale. As Ilara watched the readings appear on her device, she expected something simple, perhaps a mineral deposit or a natural scale reaction to long space travel. But as the numbers formed on her screen, she blinked. This did not match any dragon biology she had studied. She adjusted the scanner settings and tried again. The readings changed slightly but still showed the same pattern. There was energy inside the spot, soft, stable energy. Not dangerous, not harmful, but unusual, very unusual. Her supervisor approached. Ilara, is everything normal? She hesitated before answering. Not exactly. She turned her tablet so the supervisor could see. He leaned closer. That can't be correct. Dragon scales do not produce this type of energy. Rizath tilted his head. Is there a problem? Ilara kept her tone gentle and calm. Not a problem. Just something unexpected. The spot is not a mark. And it is not damage. It seems to respond to external presence. Rizath's eyes narrowed slightly. External presence? As in, Ilara explained, it reacts when certain living beings are near it. Her supervisor stepped back thoughtfully. Let us try a simple test. Ilara, walk closer to the spot. She nodded and moved toward the dragon's side. As she approached, the glowing spot brightened noticeably. The pulse quickened, shining like a soft lantern welcoming someone home. Rizath's eyes widened in surprise. It has never done that before. Ilara stepped back. The glow dimmed again. She stepped forward. The glow brightened. Rizath watched this with growing curiosity. It is responding to you. Ilara checked the scanner again. It seems so, but I don't know why. This pattern isn't in any medical record. The atmosphere in the room shifted from ordinary examination to gentle excitement. Several staff members gathered nearby, whispering softly, fascinated by the phenomenon. A dragon scale responding to human presence was not normal. It was not even known to be possible. Rizath lowered his head to look more closely at Ilara. Human nurse, do you possess any unusual traits? She shook her head. No, I am ordinary. I trained in basic xenomedicine. Nothing special. The dragon gave a soft rumble of amusement. All humans say they are ordinary. Yet your species often surprises the galaxy. Her supervisor nodded. She is calm, detail-oriented, and patient. Those qualities may be guiding this discovery. Ilara felt a small warmth in her chest. She was proud of her work, but she never thought she would be involved in something so unusual. She turned back to the glowing spot. Rizath, may I conduct more scans? Non-invasive only. Just readings. Of course, the dragon replied. You have my trust. As Ilara scanned deeper, more data appeared, strange but stable signals, flowing gently like soft waves of light. The energy seemed to be part of Rizath's body, not an outside object. Yet it also carried a pattern she recognized faintly from human medical archives. A pattern similar to human bioelectric signals. Ilara's breath caught for a moment. She ran another scan to confirm. The readings matched again. She looked up slowly. Rizath, I think this spot reacts specifically to humans. The dragon blinked, puzzled. To humans? Why? Ilara shook her head gently. I don't know yet, but it is not harmful. It is stable, and it seems peaceful. The dragon silently considered this. The staff watched with interest. The scanner lights glowed softly. And in that quiet moment, Ilara knew part one of this mystery had only just begun. The scan room felt unusually quiet the next morning. The soft hum of machines filled the space, like a gentle background melody. Lights glowed in faint blues and greens, reflecting off smooth white walls. Everything about the room felt calm. Yet inside the minds of the medical team, curiosity buzzed like bright sparks. The human nurse, Ilara Marin, arrived early. She held a fresh tablet in her hand and a small cup of warm herbal tea in the other. She had slept less than she wanted. But it was not stress that kept her awake, it was excitement. She kept thinking about the glowing spot on Rizath's scale, how it brightened only when she stepped near, and how unusual the readings were. She stood in front of the window that separated the scan chamber from the hallway. On the other side, the large star dragon Rizath rested calmly on the adjusted platform. His wings were folded like soft blankets of silver, and his breathing was steady. Even resting, he looked powerful, ancient, and wise. A soft voice spoke behind her. "You came early." Ilara turned to see her supervisor, Dr. Harlan, holding a data pad and wearing a gentle smile. "I couldn't sleep much," she admitted. "This is something new. Something no one has seen before." Dr. Harlan nodded. "The whole outpost is talking about it. A dragon with a scale that reacts to humans? Fascinating." Ilara took a slow sip of her tea. "I want to understand why. I want to know what this energy pattern means." "You will," Dr. Harlan replied. "And Rizath seems comfortable with you. That will help." Ilara set her tea aside and walked into the scan chamber. The platform lights brightened slightly as she entered. Rizath lifted his head. His deep voice sounded warm. "Greetings, young healer. You begin your day early." Ilara smiled. "Good morning, Rizath. I hope you rested well." "I did," he replied. "Though I spent some time thinking. I have lived many long years, but I have never encountered something like this. It is strange. Strange, yet not unpleasant." Ilara nodded kindly. "We'll figure it out together." She stepped closer to the glowing spot on the dragon's side. As expected, it brightened softly at her presence. The glow was gentle, like a warm star under the surface. She breathed out slowly. "It still reacts, every time." Rizath turned his head to observe it. "It seems to greet you." Ilara felt a soft wave of surprise. "Greet me? Like a signal?" "Ho. Ilara?" "Perhaps," the dragon said. "Dragons communicate with each other in many ways. Energy fields, scale patterns, subtle tones. Maybe this is a kind of communication, though one I do not recognize." Ilara updated her tablet. "Let's try more scans." She activated the main scanner. Soft rays of harmless light swept across the glowing spot. The readings appeared on her screen: bright lines, gentle waves, and shapes that looked almost like patterns from a musical rhythm. Ilara frowned gently. "This pattern is too organized to be random. But it's not a language pattern either. At least not one I've seen." Rizath observed her expression. "You look puzzled." "I am," Ilara admitted with a soft laugh. "But it's a good kind of puzzled." Her careful scrolling revealed something she had missed yesterday: small clusters of gentle energy inside the spot. They were arranged in a specific shape, almost like petals of a flower. Dr. Harlan stepped into the chamber now. "Any new findings?" Ilara pointed at the readings. "Look at this section here." He leaned over her shoulder, his eyebrows lifted. "That looks structured. Almost like a biological mechanism." Ilara nodded. "Yes. It's not a wound. Not damage. Not any known illness." Dr. Harlan studied the readings more closely. "This is something dragons are born with, but dormant. Hidden deep under the scales. Something that awakens only under certain conditions." Rizath tilted his head. "I have never heard of such a trait." Ilara looked up at him. "Rizath, can you tell me anything about your ancestry? Or any special features dragons might have had long ago?" Rizath closed his eyes for a moment, thinking deeply. "Dragons are old, young healer. Very old. Our ancestors traveled through nebulae before many planets formed life. But most ancient knowledge was passed through stories, not written records." "Doctor," Harlan nodded. "Stories can still carry truth." Rizath opened his eyes again. "There are old tales about partnerships between dragons and early humans. Not battles or conflict, peaceful cooperation. Explorers helping each other survive cosmic dust storms and harsh star winds. Humans and dragons once traveled together." Ilara listened closely. Maybe this spot is connected to those early alliances. Rizath gave a gentle rumble of thought. Perhaps. But dragons stopped those joint missions long ago. And your species changed much since then. Alara glanced at her scanner. Yet the energy pattern here feels familiar. Not exactly human, but related to human energy signals. Dr. Harlan tapped his datapad thoughtfully. It could be an evolutionary imprint. A physical memory left in dragon genetics. Alara blinked. A memory inside the body? Rizith looked curious. A memory? Like emotions? Not exactly emotions, Alara explained gently. More like a genetic echo. Something passed from generation to generation. A structure that stays hidden until a certain event triggers it. Rizath studied the glowing spot again. And the trigger is humans. Dr. Harlan stepped back. Specifically, humans with a certain type of energy pattern. Alara, I want to check your medical profile. Alara blinked. My profile? Why? Dr. Harlan smiled gently. You said the spot brightens when you're near it. I want to see if your energy signature is unique. He scanned her arm briefly with a handheld device. The results appeared instantly, soft graphs and lines. Alara watched curiously. Is something unusual? Dr. Harlan nodded. Your bioelectric rhythm is a rare kind. Only a small group of humans have this exact pattern. Rizath's scales shimmered slightly. So the spot responds to her because she carries this rare pattern? Alara held her tablet tightly. That means this biological mechanism was designed long ago to react to humans with this exact rhythm. Dr. Harlan spoke slowly. This is no random trait. Someone, long in the past, must have created or adapted this feature to help dragons identify trustworthy humans. Alara's eyes widened. Like a built-in symbol of alliance, Rizath exhaled softly. For a dragon, it was a thoughtful sigh. If this is true, then my ancestor carried this mechanism, and so did every dragon after him. But it has remained dormant, because no human with this energy pattern came close enough. Until now. Alara felt a quiet warmth inside her chest. That means this is more than a medical case. It's a historical discovery. Rizath lowered his head slightly, a respectful motion. Young healer, you have revealed something my species forgot for ages. Alara smiled softly. I didn't do it alone. We're discovering it together. Dr. Harlan stepped back with a thoughtful expression. We should record everything. Not only for medicine, but for interspecies history. Understanding this connection could help humans and dragons work together again. Rizith's tail moved slowly in a calm wave. I would welcome that. I would welcome that. Alara turned back to the glowing spot, enchanted by its gentle light. Rizath, does it feel different now that you know it reacts to humans? It feels... He paused, searching for a word. Comforting. Like the memory of something old waking inside me. Something peaceful. Alara nodded. We should try one more scan. This time, I'll place my hand near the spot without touching it. Rizath held perfectly still. Proceed. Alara slowly lifted her hand. She kept a small distance, respecting the dragon's space. The moment her hand reached the right height, the spot brightened more than before. The glow spread softly across nearby scales in a gentle wave of light. Alara gasped softly. It expanded! Dr. Harlan tapped his datapad quickly. The energy field grew by 30%. It's reacting strongly now. See. Rizath watched with awe. It recognizes you. Alara kept her hand steady, feeling the warmth of the glow. This is beautiful. The light slowly faded back to its central point once she lowered her hand. Alara exhaled. This is no illness. No hazard. This is a biological signal. One that was waiting for the right human to activate it. Rizeth's voice was deep and gentle. And now that it is awakened, what comes next? Alara looked at the glowing spot, still quietly pulsing like a friendly star, and answered softly. We learn everything we can. The next day, on the Talmaran medical outpost began with a soft glow of sunrise light from the twin suns. Warm gold and gentle pink filled the sky outside the observation windows. Inside the outpost, however, the atmosphere felt different, brighter, more curious, and full of quiet excitement. For the first time in many years, humans and a star dragon were about to uncover secrets forgotten by both species. Nurse Ilara Marin stepped into the main analysis room holding her tablet close to her chest. She had barely slept, but she didn't feel tired. In her mind, questions turned like gentle wheels, questions about the glowing spot on Rizith's scale, the rare human energy pattern she carried, and the ancient stories of humans and dragons traveling together. When she walked inside, she found Rizath resting on the large observation platform. His wings shimmered softly in the morning light, and his huge eyes looked calm but curious. Several small monitors hovered around him, gently scanning and recording. Even though he was large enough to fill most of the room, he carried himself with softness, like a mountain that chose to move with care. Rizath greeted her with a warm voice. "Good morning, young healer." Ilara smiled. "Good morning, Rizath. Did you rest well?" "Yes," the dragon answered. "But I dreamed. I have not dreamed in many years." Ilara blinked in surprise. "Dreamed? About what?" Rizath's eyes glowed slightly. "I saw old shapes. Human shapes. Not you, but others from long ago. I do not remember their faces, only their light." Ilara held her tablet tighter. "That might be connected to the energy that awakened yesterday. Maybe it is stirring very old memories." Rizath hummed softly. "If so, these memories feel peaceful, like warm starlight." Before Ilara could answer, Dr. Harlan entered the room carrying several data chips. "Good, you're both here. We have a lot to analyze today." Ilara nodded. Rizath had dreams. He said they were about humans. Humans replied. Dr. Harlan raised an eyebrow. "Dreams? That's fascinating. Dreams are a kind of deep memory activity." Rizath lowered his head thoughtfully. "Perhaps the awakening of the energy spot triggered something inside my mind." Ilara looked at the glowing spot on his side. Even at rest, it pulsed like a calm heartbeat. "Rizath, would you allow us to explore this connection more deeply today?" He folded his wings neatly. "I am ready." Dr. Harlan placed the data chips into the main console. Lights blinked softly. "We gathered old records last night, stories, historical archives, and ancient biology notes from many species. Maybe they can help us understand the connection between dragons and humans." Ilara moved closer to the console. "Let's start by analyzing the energy pattern again." She activated the small scanner. It floated up, shining gentle waves of light toward Rizath's side. The glowing spot brightened when it recognized her presence, just as before. But today, something different happened. The glow responded not only by brightening, but by forming small, swirling shapes inside the light. They rotated smoothly, like petals of a luminous flower unfolding. Rizath's eyes widened slightly. "It is doing something new." Dr. Harlan watched the readings. "These shapes, they look like symbols. Not written language, but natural patterns." Ilara leaned closer. "Patterns that look like signals." The swirling shapes continued to form and fade, like quiet messages made from light. "Rizath," Ilara said gently, "does anything about these shapes feel familiar?" The dragon closed his eyes for a long moment. The room remained silent, except for the soft hum of the machines. Finally, he opened his eyes again. "Yes, they feel like old emotions, trust, cooperation, and companionship. Feelings my ancestors once shared with humans." Dr. Harlan nodded. "Then this might be an ancient bonding signal." Ilara looked amazed. "A biological symbol of friendship?" Rizath gave a slow, thoughtful nod. "Long ago, dragons and humans worked together in harsh environments. We guided them through star winds, and they built shelters for our young during cosmic storms. It is said that some dragons developed a bond with certain humans, strong enough to sense each other's presence. Elara touched her tablet. Maybe this glowing spot is the last echo of that bond. Dr. Harlan cleared his throat. Let's check something else. Elara, step back for a moment. She moved a few steps away. The glowing spot dimmed again. Dr. Harlan stepped forward instead. The glow brightened, but not as much as it did for Elara. Rizath observed quietly. It recognizes both of you, but responds strongest to Elara. Why? Elara and Dr. Harlan exchanged looks. Dr. Harlan said, because Elara carries a very rare human energy rhythm, one that matches the ancient pattern. Elara's heartbeat quickened slightly. So I'm similar to the humans dragons once bonded with? Rizath gave a deep, soft exhale. Yes. Your energy feels like a memory I had forgotten. Elara felt warmth in her chest, not fear, not uncertainty, but a gentle feeling of connection. Dr. Harlan pulled up several old archive files. I found something last night, a translated scroll from an early human explorer. It speaks of partnering with star dragons during dangerous missions, and it mentions a luminous trust mark on the dragon's side, which appeared only in the presence of certain humans. Elara's eyes widened. A trust mark. The glowing spot. Rizath adjusted his wings slightly, careful not to disturb the equipment. Then this is truly ancient. A part of my species' history lost through time. Elara tilted her head. But why did dragons forget it? Rizath's voice grew soft. As humans built stronger ships and tools, they needed our guidance less. Dragons began exploring other regions. Slowly, the shared missions ended, and with time, memories fade. Even among long-lived beings, the room fell into quiet reflection. Then, Elara spoke gently. Rizath, does it make you sad that your species forgot this connection? The dragon paused. His large eyes shone like distant planets. It does not make me sad, young healer. Instead, it makes me feel grateful. Grateful that it has been remembered now. For something forgotten to be found again is a great gift. Elara smiled. Then let's explore it further. She activated a new scanning sequence, one that traced the dragon's internal energy paths. The readings showed soft lines of light running through Rizath's body, connecting the glowing spot to deeper energy centers within him. Elara felt a surge of excitement. Look at this. The energy travels through natural pathways inside his body. This isn't a random mark, it's part of his biological design. Dr. Harlan stepped forward. It's like an organic communication system. Old, but still working. Rizath stretched his neck slightly. What does this mean for me, young healer? Elara studied the data. It means this is something special. It connects you to ancient human allies. And when it activates, it awakens memories and energy your body has carried for thousands of years. Rizath blinked slowly. Then you have given me a piece of myself I did not know I lost. Elara felt touched. I'm glad. As the scans continued, another unexpected thing happened. The glowing spot brightened again, but this time, the light extended outwards in soft, ripple-like waves. They spread across several scales, forming quiet arcs of shining lines. Elara gasped. It expanded again. Dr. Harlan's datapad buzzed. The energy field is recognizing stabilization. It wants to connect. And it seems stable, harmless, and peaceful. Rizath's voice held quiet awe. I feel something warm inside, like a memory of companionship. Elara replied softly. Maybe it's because the bond is reawakening. Rizath lowered his head so he could look at her more closely. Young healer. Elara. If humans and dragons once shared such deep trust, perhaps we can rebuild it. Elara smiled, calm and sincere. I would like that. Dr. Harlan folded his arms thoughtfully. You two have already formed the beginning of that connection. We just need to understand how it works and how to keep it stable. Elara ran another final scan. Rizath, the energy is fully awakened now. It won't fade, not as long as you remain close to humans with the matching pattern. And what if I travel far from humans again? The dragon asked. It will simply rest again, she said. Not gone. Just peaceful. Rizath nodded slowly. Then I am no longer alone. My past lives again, and my future feels brighter. Elara gently placed her hand near the glowing spot, not touching, just close enough. It brightened beautifully, like a small star celebrating. Quietly, she said, "This is only the beginning." The twin suns of Talmaron rose slowly, spilling soft gold light into the medical outpost. Inside, a quiet excitement lingered in the air. News of the glowing spot on Rizath's scale had spread throughout the small staff. No one had seen anything like it before a dragon's biological signal, responding only to certain humans. And awakened at last, Nurse Elara Marin walked into the scan chamber early, carrying her tablet. She smiled softly as she saw Rizath lying calmly on the platform. His large wings shimmered like silver curtains in the morning light. The pulsing spot on his scale glowed faintly, a soft, steady rhythm like a heartbeat of light. Rizath lifted his massive head. "Good morning, young healer. You return early." Elara nodded. "Good morning, Rizath. I wanted to check if the energy signal remained stable overnight." He gave a slow, deep exhale. "It is peaceful. It feels happy. Perhaps it recognizes your presence even now." Elara approached gently. "We will perform another scan today, but I think we already understand most of it. The spot is a bridge between dragons and humans. An ancient bond awakened again." Rizath's eyes glimmered like distant stars. "Then the memories of my ancestors are alive again." Dr. Harlan entered the room, carrying a new scanning module. "We also have a stabilizing field ready. It is harmless. It can help control the energy if it becomes too strong during travel." Elara tilted her head. "Will it affect the natural bond?" "No, Doctor," Harlan explained. "It just keeps the energy steady. Think of it as a gentle guidance." Rizath considered this. "Very well. Let us proceed." The team activated the stabilizing field. Soft, harmless energy rippled through the room, adjusting gently to Rizath's biological rhythm. The glowing spot brightened for a moment, then settled into a smooth, steady pulse. It looked even more beautiful than before, like a small star resting safely on his scales. Elara stepped close to the dragon. "Rizath, do you feel different now?" He exhaled softly, his breath creating a warm wave across the chamber. "Yes. Calm, yet alive. I sense the ancient bond without confusion. I feel connection." Dr. Harlan watched the readings. "The stabilizer is working perfectly. The energy remains strong, peaceful, and safe." Elara smiled. "This is wonderful. It means that dragons can carry this bond again, and humans can safely interact with it." Rizath's eyes glimmered. "Then perhaps the forgotten missions can begin anew. Humans and dragons working together, not just in the past, but again." Elara nodded thoughtfully. "Yes, this bond is a bridge, and it is alive now." Dr. Harlan added, "We will also record all this data, not just for medicine, but for history. In the future, others can learn about this ancient connection." Rizath lowered his head, carefully observing her. "You have done more than examine me, young healer. You have restored a piece of history. For that, I am grateful." Elara felt warmth in her chest. "It was not only me. You allowed the bond to awaken. We did this together." A soft hum passed through the room, as if the outpost itself approved. Then, something unexpected happened. The glowing spot brightened again, forming gentle arcs of light across several nearby scales. They connected in patterns, soft, smooth, and radiant. The shape seemed almost like a constellation made of living light. Elara gasped softly. "It's creating patterns," Rizath's deep voice echoed. "It recognizes cooperation. It responds to presence, understanding, and respect." Dr. Harlan's datapad recorded everything silently. These patterns could serve as a guide for future missions. They are a signal, a visual message of trust. Elara stepped closer, careful not to disturb the dragon. Rizeth, would you allow humans to explore this bond with you more directly? To travel with you, learn from you, and share knowledge? The dragon lowered his massive head closer to her. His eyes reflected twin suns and the glowing patterns on his scales. I would welcome it. The bond of my ancestors can live again, and perhaps even grow stronger. Elara nodded. Then we begin a new chapter. The next weeks passed with careful study and shared experiences. Elara worked closely with Rizath, observing how the glowing spot reacted to different human presences. Each human who shared the rare energy rhythm could activate a gentle response, pulses of light that spread across Rizath's scales, creating beautiful patterns that seemed to tell stories of ancient alliances. Rizath learned to control the glow himself. By focusing his attention and breathing calmly, he could make the light shine brighter, dimmer, or form shapes. Each adjustment felt like a dance, an interplay of instinct and intelligence. It amazed both humans and dragons alike. The outpost soon became a center for cooperation. Other humans with matching energy rhythms came to study the phenomenon. Rizath shared knowledge of space navigation, cosmic survival, and dragon physiology. In return, humans taught dragons about new tools, technology, and strategies for exploration. Together, they worked as a team, combining the best of both species. One morning, Elara stood beside Rizeth on the observation platform. The twin suns rose, painting the sky with gold and pink. The dragon's glowing spot pulsed gently, as if greeting the new day. You have changed the future, young healer, Rizath said softly. Because of you, humans and dragons may explore together once again. Elara smiled. It was our work together, Rizath. The bond existed before you met me. I only helped it awaken. Rizeth's massive wings shimmered in the morning light. Even so, the awakening marks a new era. Your species truly excels in curiosity, patience, and understanding. Elara blushed lightly. Thank you, Rizath. That means a lot coming from you. The dragon exhaled slowly, a wave of warmth filling the room. Then we moved forward, together. And together they did. The outpost became a hub of collaboration. Humans and dragons learned from each other, shared stories, and discovered new ways to navigate the stars. The glowing spot on Rizath's scale became a symbol not of a problem, but of trust, friendship, and the power of cooperation. One evening, as the twin suns dipped below the horizon, Rizath spread his wings gently. The glowing spot on his side shimmered in soft waves, reflecting the colors of the sunset. Elara stood beside him, holding her tablet, watching the patterns of light pulse in rhythm with his breathing. This is beautiful, she whispered. Not just the glow, but everything. Rizath lowered his head to look at her. Yes, and it will be more beautiful as long as we remember that bonds, once awakened, must be respected and nurtured. Elara nodded. I promise. From that day forward, the bond continued to grow. Explorers, researchers, and young dragons came to witness the glowing patterns. Humans and dragons traveled together, learned from one another, and rebuilt trust across the galaxy. The past and present intertwined, creating a brighter, shared future. The glowing spot, once a mysterious mark, became a living emblem of unity. Every pulse told a story of dragons and humans helping each other, of ancient bonds remembered, and of a species that could discover new possibilities when curiosity, compassion, and courage guided them. And in that soft, glowing light, both human and dragon realized one simple truth. When different beings choose understanding over fear, the universe becomes a place of endless wonder.